Let's start. Today's first topic is what? Lambda function. Okay. Imagine you need a small temporary function to perform what? Very simple task. Like we're adding it two numbers. Could we define what? Regular function using what? Your def keyword, right? Okay. This is what? Regular method. Using what? Def. For your calculating for adding it two numbers using what? Your regular function method. But one time use that might feel bit verbose. Nothing but verbose, nothing is nothing but it should be a lengthy. Okay, this is what lambda function shine. It's this defining a function. It will do in only one line. That is the beauty of what lambda function. Okay, let's see the basic definition of lambda function is what lambda function is a what small and what a anonymous function. Okay, and what is anonymous? It doesn't have a name like what regular function. Okay, yeah, for example, when you're using the def, you have to give what one function name, right? Okay, when you're using the adding two numbers, I'll give you the function name as what add two numbers. Okay, when you're using the lambda function, the function name is not required. Okay, it doesn't have name like what regular function. Okay, and small. What is small? It's a limited single expression. That means the one line is enough for the lambda function. Okay, and lambda function performs some functions and that can be performed using what regular function also lambda function also. It's a beauty of whatever lambda function, and think of them function is a what shortcut and perfect for your situation where you need for quick and throw your function. Okay, and let's see the syntax of your lambda function. Okay, let's see the syntax. What is the beauty of the lambda function? Okay, this can be a you can see right. This is what syntax of your lambda function. Okay, first you should be what you have to use what one keyword. That is keyword is what lambda. When you're using the lambda, computer know you're using what lambda function. Okay, in def, you have to use what def keyword to defining the user defined function. But in lambda function, when you're using the lambda function, you have to use what lambda keyword. Okay. After that, you have to pass arguments. Arguments nothing but your what your variables or values. This is nothing but okay. You have to pass that values. You can pass n number of arguments. Okay. After that, end with what colon. After the colon, you have to mention your expression. What is expression? Is a your like there's thing but your condition or set of your operation and operators like that. You can pass some if else like a controlling statements, conditional statement, looping statements not needed. You can pass what conditional statement. For looping, we learn how to loop in a lambda function. Okay, and lambda is what is a keyword. Okay, it tells what Python you are creating what your lambda function. And argument is what it's a comma. You have to list that values. What are the arguments you are given? That should be what comma separated and list of your input parameters for your function. It's nothing but your variables. Okay, and expression. What are the expression? This one expression is nothing but your single expression that evaluated and written when the function is called. Okay, when you create it like lambda, like when you call that lambda function, you can create what automatically work. Except once you decide what after that you can repeatedly you can use that one. Okay, like same thing like your user defined function. Okay, and let's see the one example that is what the first example that is what the simple adder. Okay, that can be an add of two numbers. Okay, let's create one lambda function to for the add two numbers. Okay, you can see here, right? We can assign the lambda function to a variable that can be a call it. Okay, I'm using a what operation had, right? So I'm taking on variable that is what that had. Okay, and equal to for saving. So for you have to save this function, right? To what one variable. When I call when if you want call means I want to what declare one variable. So I'm declaring what had as a variable and equaling. And I'm using what function lambda function, right? So I've started keyword is called what lambda. Then you have to pass some arguments or parameters. So I'm passing some parameters called as what variables x and y. That should be what separated by what colon. After the colon, you have to mention what expression. Okay, expression is the set of your operation and operators or conditional statements. Okay, I'm passing here what x plus y. X plus y was nothing but your sum of these two numbers or two that can be a x plus y. Okay, so after running this, I'm choosing my kernel. Okay, it's connecting. Okay, it's connected. Okay, let's run this. Okay, it's executed. After executed, this function is stored in what? Add variable. When I call the add, this function will be work. Let's see now. We can add use what? Just we can use what? Add, just like a regular expression again. Okay, when using the regular function, call the function name, right? You can use what? We can call now this variable. Okay, I'm using what here? Result is equal to had. I'm using this word. That's what? Had of 5 comma 3. Okay, so why I'm using the result to store that value inside the what? Result. You can directly call that one, you get the directly value. Okay, I'm printing that one, the print what? Using F strict. The sum is what? I'm what? Result, right? So 5 plus 3 is what? 8. Okay, let's run this. Can see here, right? The sum is what? 8. Okay, let's do one more operation here. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's see what you had only. Okay, I am just passing what? Only the I'm calling that variable and with what? Two numbers. That should be a same, should be as a parameter should be what same. Okay, I'm passing what? 10 comma 20. What your answer means 10 plus 20 is what? 30. So I'm running this one. I'm getting what? 30. This is the beauty of your what? Lambda function. This is what? Only one line. Okay. Let's visualize the flow, how it will be working. Okay. This what add is what your variable name. Okay. Lambda is what your keyword. And x comma y is what arguments. Is nothing but your variable inputs. Okay. X plus y is what expression. What you want to do. Okay. I'm doing here what sum of two numbers. So I'm using what two variables with what less operator. Okay. And you can see right. And when I'm calling result add 5 comma 3 what add is what well calling that function. Okay, and 5 comma 3 are what passed as arguments to what x comma y, that is what parameters. Okay, this is how it will be work. Okay, consider x expression x plus y is evaluated 5 plus 3, that is what 8, and your 8 is written and that may be stored in what result variable. Okay, let's see difference between what lambda and regular function. Okay, let's see the difference between what lambda function and regular function. Regular function is nothing but what? Def. Okay, that is called as what? User defined function. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm using here what? Regular function. So I'm defining, I want to do what? Square of your number. Okay, if I pass on some numbers, I want to get what? Square of that number. So I'm using what here? Square as a function name I'm given. So I'm using here what? Pass some parameters, I'm passing that what? Number. Okay, so that num. Okay, I'm returning that one. Return what? I want square that. So I want square means what is the expression? Num into num. Okay, if do the num into num, that can be number into number. I'll get what? Square of that number. Okay, I'm using what print, using what regular function. That is what I want what square of which number 5. And you can pass input as so when the user input the value, you will get the function or you will get the value that was square of that number. Okay, so certainly I'm taking what square of 5 here. Okay, what is the square of 5? 5 into 5 is what 25. Okay, let's run this. You can see right using regular function is what 25 I'm getting. Okay, if you're doing the lambda function, you can see here, right? Lambda function, square lambda, I'm taking variable and lambda. And after the using lambda keyword, I'm passing what parameter, that is what x. I want what square of the number, right? So I'm doing what x into x. Okay, when I'm doing the x into x, I will get the square. Okay, I'm printing what using lambda function, square lambda of 5. Okay, so running this one, you can see right using lambda function is what 25. This is the beauty of your lambda function. Okay, these are the key differences. Okay, should be what asked in interview. Okay, regular function is what their function name. We pass some arguments, then we return with the expression. Okay, here what your syntax lambda arguments and expression. Okay, name your as a name you are given and lambda function is an anonymous. Before you can assign with what one variable. Okay, and body come to the body we can call the can have the multiple statements in the inside the what function user defined function here what limited what single line expression. Okay, Return. What you are return? Expecting the return statement, right? Okay, here what? Implicitly, you do not return anything. Okay, okay, you can see, right? I'm not returning anything and just passing some expression. That's it enough. Okay, this is the beauty of your lambda. Okay, you can directly can use what? Lambda x into x. You can pass directly that one. No problem. Okay, it will be work. Consider it the function my lambda is created. Okay, like that it will be work. Okay, let's see the power of lambda working with the higher order functions. Okay, some function is there. Okay, that can be when we use the conditional statement and looping statement, right? So using what in lambda, the looping statement will not be work. So I am using what this what higher order functions. Okay, the true power of lambda function becomes the evident when they are used what higher order function. That can be what function that can take other function as what arguments. Okay, let's explore some common ones. Okay, first one is what map, and that is second one is for filter, and third one is what sorted. These are the three main common operation when we doing the lambda operations. Okay, let's do first one is what map. The map function is what applies a given function to each item of an iteratable like a list only. Okay, and it returns what a map object, which can be what converted into what list. Okay, map is nothing but is nothing but your list. We can do when using the map, we can easily iteratable. Okay, I'm taking one list. Okay, let's do what I'm taking one list. That is what your numbers. Okay, so using what 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. These are what values inside the list. Okay, let's do what double each number in the list using what math function. That can be what use the lambda function. Okay, like taking what one variable that called as double numbers is equal to what list. I'm using what here typecasting, but I want in what list, right? So I want doing what typecasting here list, and what I'm passing here what map. Map is nothing but I have to iterate that one, right? So and lambda. Okay, here what you have to mention what expression. That is what lambda x. That is what nothing but your parameter. Then we end with what colon, and I'm pass some expression. That is what I want double time, right? So I'm what x into 2. So I'm doing what x into 2. Okay, and passing what expression here. That is what x into 2 comma what numbers. Okay, that is what your nothing but your numbers. Okay, and print what original numbers is this number, so it will be printed. Next double numbers also printed. Let's run this. Can see, right? Original number is what 1 2 3 4 5, and double number is what 2 4 6 8 10. Like that it will be work. Okay, this is the beauty of your what math function. Using the math function, we can do iterate like that. First you code for 1, next 2, next 3, next 4, and next 5. Okay. Remember, map is used to what? It is a given function that can be each item can be iteratable like your list and returns what map to the object, then which can be what convert into a list. So I'm using what here completely. Okay, and you can do as you wish. First you can do the expression, then second line you can do the map, and third line you can put the dot list. So what is the lambda function use means you are doing what in one line. That's the beauty of that one. So I'm doing it what one line. Okay. First, how it will be work means like first this expression will be evaluated, then it should be what convert into what, and it can to the map iteratable. Then this after getting the values, it is in the lambda only. So I want in what list, right? So I'm converting this one values to what list. Okay, let's learn this. Then you can neatly understand. I'm doing what we are lambda, okay, and x. So x is what nothing but parameter, and x into what 2, and what is that your what shall show your double number? I'm the taking variable that is what your numbers. Okay, let's run this. You can see right. I'm getting like this. Okay, function mine lambda x of 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so for this I'm doing not what I'm doing now map. Okay, so after map. So we can get what map, but this I'm getting some values, right? That is what nothing but your address of your system. Okay, that means we can do after passing the what map, we can do iteratable. Okay, for that one. So we cannot see like this one, right? So I'm converting these values into what list. So I want what I'm to do what here typecasting now. Okay, when I pass a list of this one, I'm getting what here list. Okay, this is beauty of your map function and using what lambda function. Okay, let's do the second one, that is for filter function. Okay, this what your filter function construct what iterator from elements of an iteratable for the which a function returns a true value. Okay, that nothing but your is filtering the values. Okay, I'm taking a what number. Okay, so it's a list of numbers I'm taken as values, and let's filter out what only I want what even numbers from this list. Okay, this is the beauty of your filter. So I'm taking here what even number and passing from filter. I'm inside what I have to mention what even number condition, nothing but your expression. So I'm using what lambda function and x what parameter, that nothing after the colon I have to mention what expression, right? What is the logic to find the even number? That is what like the parameter modulus and 2 and nothing but is find the remainder. If remainder equal to remainder means we'll get that is number, that number is called as what even number. Okay, and passing some what numbers, I want these numbers, right? So I'm passing this number, okay, as a variable, okay, to calculate this one. Okay, and when I'm printing the original numbers, I get this list. And when I'm printing the even numbers, this filter is converted to what? Mapping. Let me do first thing. And when I'm printing the even numbers, I get the only the even numbers from this list. Okay, let's run this. Can see right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Like that, it will be work. Okay, let's do to understand you what first. First, you have to do what lambda. Okay, okay, I'm typing here and passing what lambda. Okay, let's run this. You can see right the function minus lambda is what numbers we can get the just function. Okay, after that I want to do here what filter. Filter is nothing but when you are doing the conditional statement, right? So and we are passing what filter function. So when I am using the filter, okay, can some get address like filter of this number. Okay, I want that in what list, right? So I want to pass here what to what typecasting, nothing but your what converting that address to what your list. So I'm running this one. You can see right 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, this is the beauty of your filter function. Okay, let's do another example. I'm taking what list of tuples. Okay, with what name and age. So I'm taking one people inside the list. I'm passing some tuples and pass some values with the name and age. You can see here right, Alice 30, Bob 25, and Charlie 35. Okay, I want to do what sorting, right? I have to use what here sorted operation. Okay, sorted operation is nothing but I want to sort based on your requirement. Okay, so I want here sorted by age. So I'm using here what sorted by age. By inside the people, I want only what age only I want. When I'm using the sort function, I'm using here what keyword sorted. Okay, I'm taking here what people. This people nothing but your this variable people, comma key. I'm taking one parameter. Okay. Key is equal to what I'm doing here. Key is equal to what I'm doing here. Here, yesterday I discussed, right? That is what here. Default value. Okay. Default variable scope. Okay. I'm using here what? Key is equal to what? Lambda. And and after the lambda, you have to mention what? Parameter. After the parameter, after I'm doing what? Colon. And after that, I have to mention what? Expression, right? So I'm doing a expression. That is what? Person of 1. Okay, I'm doing using here what? Square bracket. Why I'm using? I have to do what? Indexing. Okay, you can see here, right? This in this list, where is the age? Where is the age? At what? You can see, right? When I'm doing the indexing, Okay, when I take this tuple, alias 30, that nothing but your 0, 1. Okay, always let's not you are also 0, 1, 0, 1. Like that, it will be working. Okay, inside the function, inside the tuple. Okay, like that. When I doing the person of 1, I'll get what? Age only. Like that, it will be work. Okay, so I'm doing what here sorted by age. So let's run this. Can see here, right? The original list is like this one. When I'm doing the what sorted by age, we can using what? When I use it to sorted, right? So I'm getting in what? Ascending order. That is what your 25, 30, and 35. Like that, it will be work. It is the beauty of your what? Sorted function. Okay. By practicing, you know to when you how it will work. By you have to trace that one. When you're doing the tracing, it will be good to know how it will be working. Okay, this is beauty of your sorted. It's a common function using what lambda function. Okay, almost we use what user defined function for in all tasks. Something when we doing the large number of code, right? So then in that time you can use the lambda, and lambda is work for only the small tasks and remaining tasks only. Okay. Let's do what? Recursion. Okay. And this is the second topic of our today class. And what is recursion means? Before continuing with this lambda example, it is the most important one. Another key that is what your programming concept. That is what your recursion. Okay. Recursion means what your it's nothing but we first learn it what with a regular function, right? Okay. And let me do what recursion. Recursion is what a programming technique where the function calls. Okay, itself to in what order to what solve a problem. Think of it and like a set of Russian nesting dolls. Okay, Russian nesting dolls. Research in your you can go Google is nothing but you are repeating the same technique in the yourself getting what same thing to get what smallest doll and you keep opening and when you are holding. Okay, like that repeating the task. Okay, so when you get you should be what solve and at the last like that recursion should be what work. Okay, it's nothing but function call itself to order to solve what the problem like that. Let me do what some basic thing that what recursive function need what two main parts. Okay, first is nothing but your base case. What is the base case means the condition that stop what recursion. Without it, the function would call it itself forever, leading it to the crash. It's nothing but it should be until the solving, it will be repeating the task. Okay, and recursive step means the part of the function means where it call itself using this will be modified argument and move it closer to what your base case. Okay, this is the main step. What is what? First is what base case and recursive stop. And when you're using the recursion, you have to remember that one. What is the recursion means? It's a programming technique where the function call itself in order to solve what problem. Okay, the main thing what function call itself. Okay, this is the main thing. Okay, okay, there are two methods. Okay, first method is called as what recursion with the return value, and second method is called as what recursion without a return value. The first we learn first one that is what your recursion with the return value. This is the most common type of your recursion. Okay, where a function call itself and uses what returns a value that call to calculate is the own result. Okay, remember this thing. Okay, let's do what example. That is nothing but calculating your factorial number is most important, and so you can do the factorial in more ways. Okay, in interview the interview asks do you write the program for factorial using what recursion. Okay, they can ask like that. And after asking that one, you can use this method only. This is the easy one. Let's discuss one. Okay, I do what factorial of a number. I'm taking what n as a variable. Okay, and you can if I want the n factorial means I have to use what return as what n factorial. Okay, and it's the product of your all positive integer up to what n. Okay, when you're using the n factorial. So for example, when I'm using the 5 factorial, I get to what 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, and it's nothing but what after multiplying this whole thing, I get what 120. That is nothing but factorial. Okay, let's do write the program. Okay, I'm using here what same thing user defined function def. I'm passing some what factorial that is nothing but your function name. I'm passing parameter that is what n. So I want n factorial, right? So I'm writing what here? N. Okay. In base case, I want to what, right? If n is what? 1 or 0, the factorial is always is what? 1, right? The 0 factorial always is 1 and 1 factorial is always is 1. Remember that one. That is what your base case. Okay. If n is when I pass n is equal to 1 or 0, you write this what? Base condition. That is what your if n is equal to 1 or n is equal to 0. Always the value should be what? 1, right? So I'm returning what? 1. After that, you have to do what? Recursive step. Then nothing but your when you pass rather than 0 and 1, you should be what? Work what? Recursive step. That the thing but you have passed some condition that is what? N into factorial of your n minus 1. Okay. It will work for until what? N minus 1. Okay. Else, I'm taking your else. Because I'm taking if, right? After that, if you have to take what? Else part. That I'm using what here? Return. Okay. Return what? N into factorial of n minus 1. Okay. When I do the n minus 1, it will work until what? N minus 1 to get the true value. Okay. Until it will be multiplying like this. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Like that. Okay. When we get the 1 and 0, it will put as what? 1 value to this number. Okay. I'm taking here what? Number 5. Means number when I'm giving number is equal to 5 to calculate the factorial of what? 5. So I'm printing what? Your factorial of your number, that is 5, and is factorial of that number means when calling this function, that is what your function name is what? Factorial of your number. What is the number I'm given here? 5. So when I run this, I want to get what? The factorial of 5 is factorial is means factorial is calculated is in this place replaced by what? 120. Okay, let's run this. Can see, right? The factorial of 5 is what? 120. This is what? Right, the factorial program using what? Recursive. Okay, using what? Recursion method. Okay, let's run. Okay, I'm passing here factorial what? But because I created, right, the factorial. That is nothing but your factorial. That is for and decide what function name. So I'm calling that one. Can see here, right? And passing what value. Let me pass what 10. What is the 10 factorial? Can say this is the 10 factorial. That is for 362,880. I'll pass what here 5. 6. What? 120 into 6 what? 720, right? Okay, this is the correct answer. Like that, it will be working. This is the beauty of your what? Recursion. Okay. Let's do second method that is called as what? Recursion without a return value. It's nothing but you're returning the value here, right? Okay. In the second method is what? You not use what? Without a return value. Okay. This is the second method. And sometimes your recursive function is used to perform what? Action to each step for rather than calculating the and returning the final value. In this case, what? There is no return statement in this recursive step. Okay. Let's do what? One beautiful example that is what your countdown timer like that from 10 to 1 like that it should be counting. Okay, let's create that function and the function number can be a print what blast off first. Okay, let's do what we'll find the function. So I'm using what def. So I'm doing what function countdown, right? So I'm using what countdown as the what function name. I'm passing some parameter and with it a colon. So should be what your base case. Okay, when n is 0 we are done, right? So I'm doing your what if n is less than 0. Okay, print what blast off is nothing but time is finished. Okay, and you doing your recursive stuff. That is what print the numbers and call countdown for the n minus 1. I'm doing here what else print what n. N is what and pass the when I call the number I'll decide what the countdown should be started. Okay, I'm passing here what print n is nothing but when if I give the 5 it will print what 5 countdown. Countdown means I'm passing this what function name. I'm calling this one. I'm doing here what n minus 1. N is nothing but I'm given the countdown value, right? So that is what 5 minus 1 4 like that it will be working. After how it will be working is it like a working like a loop. Okay, after that 5 minus 1 is what 4 like that 4 minus 1 is what 3 like that how it will be working. When we get the 0 we'll print what blast off like that it will be work. And how it will be work first should be what printing that is starting countdown and take when I'm call the countdown of 5 it will start a function and will be printed what? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, blast off. Like that it will be work. This is what? Recursion without a return value. Let's run this. You can see right, starting countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and finally blast off. You can change the value here and passing what? 10. Can see right when I'm running, you can see right 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, blast off. This is the countdown. Okay, using what? Recursion. You can do what? Countdown without using recursion also. Okay, depend on your question. Okay, depend on your requirement. And can we use a recursion with a lambda function? Yeah, we can use that one. That is the great. And we use what tricky word generally recommended for your beginners. And what is the difficult means? Anonymity, because lambda function is what? Anonymous, right? So we can call it out. It is it less itself by a call itself name. But you have to assign it. Then you have to what? Use what? Variable first. Okay. And single expression means you can use for lambda limited for your single expression. That can be what you take off it to the both base and case in or recursive step. Like that cleanly. We often use what? Ternity operator. Okay. That can be what? Value if true and if condition else value if false. Like that you have to write in one line. Like that it will be work. Then only it will be work. Otherwise we'll get what? Error. Okay, when you using what? Recursion in lambda function. Okay, readability, the result often with what? Def function only standard compared to what? Your def. Okay, let's do one thing. Okay, let's do the factorial. Same thing. Using what? Lambda function. Okay, interview as if you to write the program in factorial means your wish. You can write in any type. Okay, if the specific mention using lambda or using recursion. If they mention you have to use what? Same method. Okay, I'm taking what? Recursive lambda to calculate factorial, and this is less readable than what? Def version. Okay, I'm taking here what? One variable, that is what your factorial lambda. This means nothing but factorial using what? Lambda function. So, okay, I'm taking here what? Lambda. Okay, then passing parameter, that is what? N. That nothing but I'm calculating n number, right? I have to write first what? Base condition, right? N is what? I'm passing some what here? Expression. That is what? 1. Okay, 1. If what? If n is equal to 0, like that it will be work. Else means it's nothing but I'm passing here what? 1 and 0. If what? I'm using here 1 for 1 and if like that. You should be work like a reversing order, and like that it will be work like this also and like this also. Okay. And if n is equal to what? N is equal to what? 0 also, 1 also. Value should be what? Always 1. Okay. Else n into what? Factorial lambda. Okay. It's nothing but I'm calling that this variable. Until it should be what work? N minus 1 should be work. Then only we get what? Factorial of that number. So is this work because of your factorial lambda is what? In a scope. Okay. This is what when the lambda body is executed. After running this one, I'm calling what? Number 5. When I call the number is equal to 5, should go to the number is equal to 5, and it should be work should be what? The factorial of your number. Okay, let's run this. You can see it, the factorial of 5 is what? Using the recursive lambda is what? 120. Like that, it will be working. Okay. And the last method is what? Immediately invoke function expression. It's nothing but IIFE. Is what is that one means? We can define all the lambda function in what? Single line. Okay. For single line, they given a name that is what? IIFE. It's nothing but immediately invoke function expression. If they can ask what is the immediately invoke function expression is, that is what? Single line expression, that is called as what? Lambda function. Okay. This is known as what? Your IIFE. You can use here an example. That is what I'm taking one result and passing some lambda and pass the parameters that is x and y. I'm doing what here? Multiplication, right? X into y. After that x into y, I'm passing what? Arguments. That's nothing but your 5 comma 6. Okay, I'm passing here argument also and using what? Tuples. So you can first have pass what? Parameters. Then I'm passing what? arguments. You can pass it like a single line. That is called as what? IIFE. When I use what? Use the result of I immediately know lambda function. I get what result? That is what? 5 into 6. I got value. Can see right? The result of inverse function is what? 30. 5 into 6 nothing but your 30, right? Okay. This is the beauty of your what? Lambda function and recursion. Okay. Let's stop here and continue the next classes.